Giving back is a way of life for Stephen James, whether he is raising awareness about cardiovascular disease, raising money for homeless teenagers in New Orleans, or helping student athletes at Jackson State University excel. Stephen's commitment to serving others is why he is the Young, Gifted, and Empowered Philanthropist of the Year. You participate in more than 60 events every year. That is a tremendous commitment to our community. How do you do it?
It takes a lot of time, but it's more of something that I enjoy doing. So I make time for it because I enjoy it. When we start looking at the different events and different things we want to do on a yearly basis, we actually have a calendar of events where we log things in. It's myself and my staff. One thing that I do admire is that from me giving back, I've gotten people in my staff that are starting to give back now. Perfect example, we do a backpack giveaway each year with the American Heart Association. And I got a young guy in my office now, this past year, instead of just giving back backpacks, he came to me and said, hey, can we do school uniforms? Can we do some haircuts for the young men? I said, of course. Whatever you want to do, we can add to it. He felt motivated just not give out backpacks. He wanted to do something extra. So that's what I like about it.
And one night, you helped raise more than $400,000 for homeless teenagers in New Orleans. Why? How did you do it?
The way we did it is an event called the Annual Sleep Out. What it is an organization called the Covenant House of New Orleans. This is one of their yearly fundraisers that they do, and it's a way that they fund everything that they do with their teenagers. We get sponsorship dollars based on us sleeping out overnight, and this past year we raised over $426,000. Last year, same scenario, we raised over $400,000. So in 2 years, close to $900,000 sleeping out for the homeless. You give up your comforts of home for one night to show, teenagers that, hey, we do care. I want to show you that there are people out here that do care about you.
What's next for you? You've done a lot. You've spent most of your life practically in Jackson, sometime in Hattiesburg as a student at USM. What's next?
What's next for me is just being here and loving the great state of Mississippi and continue to give back. I started my business on a premise of giving back. That was our whole platform, that we would use this business as a way to give back to the community. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm here.
You said, I quote, I made 3 great decisions in my life, and that was getting married, having the Allstate agency, and having a child who is now 6 years old. Tell me about them.
I love my family. I have a very supportive wife. She supports me in everything. I come up with some wild ideas, like to sleep out. When I told her I was going to sleep out in the streets of New Orleans, she was like, are you serious? And then after I came back and told her how much we raised, she said, do you need a new sleeping bag?
Yeah. $19,000. I mean, that's fabulous.
Yeah, we personally raised $19,000, and overall the event raised $426,000. And she was like, we might need to get you a new sleeping bag, because she's behind me. One other thing is giving back. My son sees it. I was at home about a year ago and noticed he was in his room, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was putting toys in a pile. And I said, what are you doing with those toys? He says, I'm putting these toys away. I don't play with them anymore. I'm going to donate these to underprivileged kids. So right there it hit me, because my child understands that, hey, there are other kids who don't have what I have, and I don't play with these toys anymore. So I'm going to donate these toys to kids who are less fortunate than me.
And your journey, I'm sure, has not been easy. Was there a time that you can reflect back on where someone really came in and saved the day for you, gave you that opportunity to excel when perhaps you were struggling?
A mentor of mine, his name is Howard Catchings. He was the one that got me into the insurance industry. He was like, hey, come and work for me. I was like, I don't want to get into insurance. I don't even want to talk about insurance. But he was someone that helped me through a rough time. The transition from living in Hattiesburg to coming back to Jackson and getting me in the insurance industry. And I thank him all the time. If it wasn't for him getting me into the business, I wouldn't be where I am today. And he's a great mentor, and he showed me some great things about giving back also.
What advice do you have for others who would like to aspire to do some things in the community that you're doing and succeeding in business? My
advice is start with one event. Just pick one thing that you're passionate about and just try it. I tell people all the time, it's no big deal if you get one thing that you're passionate about and go and give that one thing your heart and soul. Before you know it, you have 4 or 5 events. We started that way with one event. and now it's over 60. A lot of people looked at us and say, how do you do all these events, from working with Jackson State, Sleep Out, the American Heart Association, I mean, working with SAVE, which is an organization that work at Provine High School, working with StuPipe. We got an array of things that we do, but we love it.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.